enough of that copyright. What's going on, guys? And the 8%, it is Michael Carr here with Driven Northwest, and I'm going to be making a 5 first mods to your Cobalt SS video. And you know, I've really noticed there's not really a lot of videos, you know, a lot of first mod videos for these cars. So, you know, I was like, you know, I'm going to make one because it'd be kind of cool and they're interesting. So, and also, you know, this is going to be kind of a video aimed towards the supercharged Cobalt SS models, LSJ, not really, you know, the turbo LNF models quite as much, you know. All right, so, oh yeah, and there's no, like, you know, particular order these are in. There's just kind of, I just kind of wrote them down, which the ones I thought were, like, you know, the most important for your Cobalt. So, you know, mod number 1, I gotta say, probably be a cold air intake. You know, and that kind of, that's for like a lot of, you know, cars and tuner cars in general. But with these, really, like, it really opens it up. And oh my god, if you put a cold air intake on one of these cars, the supercharger screams. It is so loud, and you know, and it shoves more air in there. You get a little bit more power. You know, you're not gonna get a lot of power unless, like, you know, you fucking get it tuned or something. But in the meantime, before you get it tuned, you'll have all that nice whiny supercharger noise, which is always good, always a crowd pleaser, always. Yeah, that's number 1. Number 2, I'd have to say, let's see here, you know, I'd have to go with a pulley. You know, and that, again, that kind of goes with anything that's supercharged. You know, a pulley, for people that don't know, the smaller the pulley, the more boost you run, basically. So yeah, so pretty much get a smaller pulley in one of these, because I think what stock is, like, I want to say 12 pounds. And I'm not quite sure what stock pulley size is. I bought mine with a ZZP 3, which is, for me, it's about damn well near 15 pounds. So, you know, that's a good amount. And, you know, as always with every tuner car, you know, more boost equals, you know, more power. But yeah, if you ever plan on getting a pulley for one of these, make sure you don't go past like 2.7. You know, I've heard people running the 2.7 in these, and you know, it works. But I've also heard, you know, it overspins the blower, and well, you know, you might go through a blower or two. You know, I wouldn't go past 2.8. You know what I mean? That's just my personal preference. So, you know, and number three is probably one of my favorite mods I've done to my car. You know, and this will probably get you the most power right away next to a pulley, and that's exhaust and exhaust manifold. Okay, and with these cars, the 2-liter LSJ, I cannot stress enough getting a new manifold. Okay, a new exhaust manifold. Nobody, you know, a lot of people I see, they just avoid that, like they don't ever get a new manifold. And you know, a new manifold, and that, you know, new manifold is where you're going to get your power, absolutely. And I will show a picture of that. Hopefully Austin will insert it here, of the stock manifold and how restrictive it is. I still have my stock manifold. It is so bad, so restrictive, so small. And you know, I guarantee you guys, if you guys put a new manifold on, you will get quite a bit of a power up from stock. And I decided to go with the ZZP long tubes. You know, I had the choice between what they have, a shorty, a mid-length, and they have the long tubes. You know, and I was like, you know, I kind of want the most bang for my buck. You know, and I gotta say, long tube is probably the most bang for your buck if you want horsepower. Not so much for torque. I lost a little bit out on torque, but oh my god, I got that, and I got a catless downpipe. Again, exhaust. If you go catless, oh, such a big difference. I love that first day I drove it after we put the new manifold in. You know, and you get quite a bit of power from that. And it only took me in Austin, you know, took us a night. It definitely, we're up to like 3 or 4 in the morning. It took us a while. You know, but it's not that hard. It's pretty fun, and you know, you get a lot of power from it, so definitely recommend. So number 4, I would say number 4, coilovers. Coilovers is a very good for one of the first 5 mods, because I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these factory height, but they're pretty tall. I wouldn't say like you know, Subi or Evo Rally Gap or anything like that, but they, you know, they're decently tall, and you know, we've all tried to turn a corner with stock suspension, and you know, most of the time kind of sucks ass. So coilovers is definitely a must. Like I have like Megan Racing coilovers on mine. You know, they're not the best. They are not the best. They're like probably like mid-range to cheaper coilovers, I'd say. And you know, they do surprisingly well though. They're not that uncomfortable. I mean, they're pretty cozy. I think I have the dampers on kind of high though, but it really rides pretty damn good for being, you know, coilovers, and it corners pretty damn good too. I don't have any like, you know, upgraded sway bars or anything like that, but and it corners pretty damn good for, you know, Megan Racing coilovers. So yeah, definitely, you know, and definitely drop the car, and it gives it like such a good stance. Like, I'm not about that, you know, stance life camber and all that. If you are, more power to you, but I just like it a little lower, and it definitely brought it a little lower, and it looks awesome in my opinion. I want to say, let's see here, number 5, I would say bigger heat exchanger. All right, bigger heat exchanger is key. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna put a video in this of like the stock one. The stock heat exchanger is like in the middle between like the AC condenser and like the radiator, and it's very tiny, very tiny. So I went out and bought the ZZP S3 heat exchanger, which is a lot thicker, moves it to the front, and yeah, it just bypasses the, you know, the one in the middle, your stock one, and then you got a bigger heat exchanger up front. If you guys don't know how the heat exchanger works, it's kind of like an intercooler for this car, except it's not air to air, kind of like typical intercooler is. It's, what happens is coolant runs through it, right, and the air hits the coolant through the heat exchanger, and the coolant gets returned to the intake manifold, and it cools down the air from the supercharger before the air hits the engine. You know what I mean? So basically, it's kind of like a, you know, a radiator for your supercharger. And you know, when I put that on, it wasn't like a huge difference in power, but I can definitely tell it's peppier. It's definitely peppier, and it keeps down your inlet temps, you know, which is always good in a supercharged car because the heat soak like a mother trucker. So definitely a good idea, you guys. I would definitely do that. And also, I didn't opt for the dual pass kit. They make a dual pass kit for this, which you have to take off your intake manifold, and it's like a little end plate. And basically what that does is it uses the stock heat exchanger with the bigger one, so you have like double the cooling power, which is very nice, or we'll keep the inlet temps down very low. But I was a lazy little bitch and I didn't buy it. I didn't feel like taking off the intake manifold and all that, so I just bought the heat exchanger itself, which you can do. You just bypass the stock one, and then you're fine. And there's definitely a difference, and you get a cool little brace face look, which is never a bad thing. Makes you look cool. You're one of the cool kids, you know what I mean? Those are the 5 first mods I would do to any Cobalt SS. No particular order, you know, but definitely those things will make your car, you know, quicker and look a lot better. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's just kind of a, you know, little short one. Make sure to comment, all right, sub. You gotta smash that like button. I want you guys to smash it so hard your screen breaks on your phone, all right? Okay? All right, make sure to comment, let us know how you liked it and all that. We now also have a Facebook page and an Instagram page, all right? And the links to those will be down in the description of this video, all right? All right. Also, before I let you guys go, I think we have a coupon code for PETROL Box, which is pretty badass. I think you guys can watch a video of Austin opening one. I sub to him. You know, it's 35 bucks a month, and you get a lot of cool like gearhead shit. You know, it's badass, dude. And like, I'm very stingy with money, and so I don't waste money on, you know, stuff I don't think I'm gonna need. And definitely they got some stuff that's pretty damn cool if you're a gearhead. So definitely check that out, by the way. All right, you guys. All right, guys. One more thing before I let you go. Sorry, I forgot one thing. Before you do any mods to your Cobalt SS, make sure your coolant is flowing through the Nova cores down there. All right. These have a really bad problem with the coolant pumps from the factory going out at like 30K. So half the time these pumps are not working and not flowing coolant through the heat exchanger and into the, you know, intake manifold and cooling down your inlet temps. So first thing, make sure this is flowing, and you can definitely tell if you turn it on and you open this up, you can see, you know, moving around, you know. So do that before you do any mods to your car. All right, even if you have and you never checked it, check it. It's very important. I mean, it'll run fine without it, but you won't be getting your power, you know, you won't be getting your peak power if it's not running correctly. Mine, I tested mine when I bought this, and I had the dealership replace it because it was actually out. And now it works fine. I got a new pump in there and everything. So this thing right here, all right? All right. Ooh, check out these Driven Northwest stickers we got here. If you guys follow our Instagram, you'd know we put these on the bolt here. Looking pretty good. All right, you guys. All right, guys, y'all have a good one. See you next video.